President Muhammadu Buhari visits TARABA state to sympathize with the people over recent killings orchestrated by clashes between herdsmen and farmers. At last, you may say. And Chief Edwin Clark is asking President Muhammadu Buhari to declare a state of emergency in the three northeastern states of Adamawa, Borno and Yobe to eliminate the problem of insurgency once and for all. Did the Elderstatman make the right call? Many thanks for joining in, everyone. This is Politics Today live on Channels Television. I'm sure Kimbaloye in Lagos. So much to stop on the program tonight, but let's get started. As usual, there is a lot to bite on today's program, but let's get down with it in a message coming from an elder statesman. Former Minister of Information Edwin Clark is asking President Muhammadu Buhari to declare a state of emergency in the three northeastern states of Adamawa, Borno and Yobe states so as to eliminate the problem of insurgency once and for all. The elder statesman agreed with the president that the abduction of 110 girls from a college in Dapchi in Yobe State is a national disaster and says the governors of the three states have failed in their duties as chief security officers of their state. According to him, a doctrine of necessity can be passed to allow for a 6-month state of emergency with a sole administrator in place instead of civilian administration.
I believe, therefore, that if a state of emergency is declared total, that's what happened in Plateau State in 2004, and a senior military officer like Chris Ali appointed, who understands the language of the military. What happened in Chibok at that in 2014 could not have happened. Even if there is nothing like removing the democratically elected government, adopt the doctrine of necessity, which has been applied all over the world. The nation first, the country first. Anything that was not envisaged before, the doctrine of necessity can cure it.
Those are the thoughts of the elder statesman, former Minister of Information, Chief Edwin Clark. Well, let's touch base with the nation's #1 seat. George Weah has visited Nigeria officially as president. And the Liberian president is calling for improved trade with Nigeria and has opened the doors of his country to Nigerian businesses. President Weah, who spoke to journalists at the end of a brief meeting with President Muhammadu Buhari, says Nigeria has continued to play an invaluable role in stabilizing the continent and the sustenance of democracy. He, however, says there is a lot to be done in his country to meet the yearnings and aspirations of Liberians who voted into office. Then let's get down to the business of the day. So many times on this program, the question of when President Muhammadu Buhari will visit states where there have been killings or clashes have come up. In some cases, the questions have been put across to the president's spokesperson, Mr. Femi Adesina. He promised the president will visit, but did not put a time to it. Many Nigerians have also condemned the president for not visiting those places, at least to commiserate with the people, especially when he's at other social functions. Today, after hosting President George Weah of Liberia, President Muhammadu Buhari departed Abuja, the nation's capital, for the northeastern state of TARABA to sympathize with the people over recent killings orchestrated by clashes between herdsmen and farmers. The president will also visit Benue, Yobe, Zamfara and River States where cases of terror attacks and clashes have been recorded. The president had earlier instructed the armed forces and other security agencies to compile comprehensive report on the various incidents and studied them before embarking on the trip. Now let's get update from the Special Advisor on Media and Publicity to the President, Mr. Femi Adesina, joins us via Skype from the seat of power. Many thanks, Mr. Adesina, for your time on the program tonight. A lot of Nigerians will say at last the President is visiting. This time around, on this visit, what exactly is target? The families or at the government house in TARABA?
Everybody. Everybody.
I mean, if you say everybody, are you talking about victims, the families of those who have been affected in these attacks? Or what exactly do you mean by everybody?
Everyone in those states, those who have been involved, either directly or indirectly. You know, what affects one at times affects all. If you live in a place where there has been massive killings like that, then you can't say you are not affected. So the president is going to those states to visit everyone. All stakeholders are going to be invited for meetings, traditional rulers, farmers, herdsmen, community leaders. He's going to meet with them. So it cuts across.
So the question will be, why has the president waited this long?
It's already answered in the statement we issued today. The president had sent teams, sent DIG, sent IG, sent Interior Minister, sent military chiefs, and they have submitted reports, and he has studied the reports. Now he thinks it's ripe to visit.
Because a lot of people, perhaps, I'm very sure that you're one who is conversant with online and social media conversations. Even we've had this conversation on this platform, Mr. Adesina, when Nigerians have been asking the president to immediately visit some of these areas. So a lot of people are already saying that this is reactive and that this is perhaps just for political reasons.
Well, the opposite of reactive is proactive. If you say the president should have been proactive, should he have visited before the clashes came? Those people who talk about proactive and reactive, they just abuse me. So would he have visited before the clashes came? There was no way he would have foreseen the clashes. So it naturally has to be reactive.
Immediacy.
It has to be after.